All right. I think we are live. Just waiting for confirmation from my YouTube screen. I don't have this down to the science that Cynthia has it down to, but now I've done it a couple times. I'm feeling a little better about it. Let's see here. Let me try refreshing. All right, looks like we're live. I see John in the chat over on YouTube and a couple other people watching. So everybody should feel free to say hi, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on Zoom. Say hi in the chat. Maybe Zoom people give a little wave for the folks over on YouTube. We are going to do this jam with Cynthia's beginner songbook. So hopefully everybody downloaded that from the original Patreon post. It's the same one we used last month if you joined us last month. And if you're joining us on Zoom, I'm going to ask you to do the same thing I asked you to do last time, which the people on YouTube are also welcome to do, which is to write in the chat who came and where you're zooming in from. So if you just want to share your name and your location. I see John's already shared that on YouTube, which is great. So John got us off to a good start. We're going to play some songs. One of the things that Cynthia and I want to do with this jam is to open it up for people, and she said this in her post. If there are people who want to lead some songs, I would encourage you to start thinking about songs that you might like to lead in one of these. We are not going to do that today because I didn't have any volunteers and I don't want to put pressure on anybody, but I just want you to think about it because it's a great way to sort of practice leading if you're in any groups or if you might think you might want to be. And it will be a safe space for people to practice leading a song if you'd like at some point. So we won't do that today, but I am going to let people make requests. So if you know now that you have a request for a song you'd like to do, whether you're on YouTube, because I'll watch that as well, and also on Zoom, you're welcome to put that in the chat. And what we're going to do for anyone who wasn't here last time is similar to last month's format. We're going to play a song. I will lead the song, so everybody will be muted except for me. If you're on YouTube, you don't have to worry about the muting. But when we're playing through it, everyone else will be muted. And then at the end of the song, you're welcome to unmute. And if you have questions about the song we just played or some of the variations. I'm going to try to play things at the beginner level here because this is meant to be more of a beginner jam. But if you're an intermediate player and you're playing a variation and you have a question about it, you can feel free to ask that in between the songs. So let's go ahead and get started with this nice simple one. And I picked one that we haven't played in a while, but is one of Cynthia's older tutorials that has been played so many times and is generally a really great one for beginners. So let's do Brown Eyed Girl to start out. I'm going to share it on the screen so everybody will be able to see.
She hasn't said.
Make sure this works.
Riptide.
All right. And we are going to play Brown Eyed Girl. Let me just scroll to that one. If you've got the chords at home too, of course, you're welcome to use those, but I know not everybody has them in front of them, so we'll do them on the screen. All right, so Brown Eyed Girl is a 2-pager, so we'll need to scroll in the middle. Very simple chords, C, F, G7, A minor. And we're just going to do an island strum on this one. So it'll be a nice simple strum to start out. If island strum is beyond you, because sometimes we have beginners who are at the very beginning level, you can just do down strums. You can either just do one down strum on each chord, or you can do down strums along with a beat. This song will be in 4 beats, so you could do 4 down strums and with each chord and do it that way. So just make it work for you. That's kind of the name of the game. If you're a more advanced player, feel free to go crazy with some chucking or try out some different strums on the choruses and verses. But we'll do this one at a nice, easy pace to start out with. Here we go with the intro. 2. Here's the intro. And we'll sing here. Hey, where did we go? Days when the rain came down in the hollow, playing a new game, laughing and a running, hey, hey, skipping and a jumping in the misty morning fog with hide behind a rainbow's wall, slipping and a sliding, hey, hey, all along the waterfall. Scrolling now, those chords are going away. We'll scroll further down though. Sorry. With you, my brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. Here come some down strums. Do you remember when? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We used to sing sha la 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 ti da, just like that. Sha la 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 ti da, la ti da. I'm gonna scroll here. 2, 3, 4. C 2, 3, 4. So hard to find my way now that I'm all on my own. Saw you just the other day. My, how you have grown. Cast my memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I'm overcome thinking about making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you, brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. Here come those down strums again. Do you remember when? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We used to sing, and we'll scroll to the end. Sha la 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 ti da, just like that. Sha la 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 ti da. Sha la 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 ti da. Sha la 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 ti da, la ti da. 4 of these. 3, 4. Very nice. All right. Let me know if anybody's having any technical issues. Glad to see more folks arriving. Welcome. I'm going to check over on YouTube chat. We've got some people from Palo Alto, Santa Rosa. You know, I am not in the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. where there is a lot of heat wave going on, which in some places is starting to break. But it is very hot here in New York City, so I'm going to turn my fan on for a few minutes. And if you can't hear me over the fan, let me know in the chat, and I will turn it off. But that will help me keep my sweaty uke from slipping. All right, so let's sing some more songs and play some more songs, more importantly. Who has a request? Anybody? I've got some ideas, but we can do a request if you've got one. While you're thinking, let's play Kiss the Girl, because that's another one that we haven't played in a while. That is a nice, simple one to start out with. So let's do another island strum song, and again, modify it if you need to do something simpler. But Kiss the Girl from Little Mermaid is a nice one Cynthia's been teaching for a long time, but we don't play a lot in jams anymore. So here you see the chords up here, C, F, G, G7, and so I'm going to scroll up so maybe we can get this all on one page. There we go. All right, so I'm going to do island strum for this one too. There's no intro written for this song, so I'll just pick a pace and we'll play the C a couple times to get onto it. 1, 2, here we go. There you see her, sitting there across the way. She don't got a lot to say, but there's something about her. And you don't know why, but you're dying to try. You wanna kiss the girl. Yes, you want her. Look at her, you know you do. Possible she wants you to. There's one way to ask her. It don't take a word, not a single word. Go on and kiss the girl. Sha-la-la-la-la, my oh my, look like the boy too shy. Gonna kiss the girl. Sha-la-la-la-la, ain't that sad? Ain't it a shame to beg? gonna miss the girl. Now's your moment, floating in a blue lagoon. Boy, you better do it soon, no time will be better. She don't say a word, and she won't say a word until you kiss the girl. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, don't be scared, you got the mood prepared. Go on and kiss the girl. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, don't stop now, don't try to hide it. How you wanna kiss the girl. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, float along and listen to the song. The song say kiss the girl. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, music play, do what the music say. Go on and kiss the girl. Kiss the girl. Go on and kiss the girl. Kiss the girl. All right. Who was picturing those little frogs that sing backup in the movie in that musical? I was picturing the little frogs. Oh, let's see. We've got some more people joining us. Great. Britta, Bruce, John, Nancy, Clara, Dovey, and Ray, all over on YouTube, and probably more as well who haven't named themselves. And I see in the chat here we've got Donna in California, Elena's in Spain, Angie is in Canada. It's Canada Day. Wonderful. Congrats to Canadians. Happy Canada Day. Bob is in the UK. Ina or Ina, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. You're welcome to unmute yourself and tell me the correct pronunciation so I get it right. From the Philippines. Kathy is also in New York with me. Charles in LA. Jane and Simon in England. Thank you so much again for joining. All right, I don't see any requests though yet. Oh, I see one now on YouTube. Great, Nancy is requesting Come Away With Me. This is a nice one because for those of you who are enjoying doing some picking practice, this is a nice, simple one for picking. And yes, I see the comment on Hallelujah. That would be a great one to follow because it'll be a different picking pattern. And folks who aren't into picking, of course, can strum these. Don't feel any pressure to pick. But Come Away With Me is a nice one that goes at a nice, easy tempo. So you can try some picking if you like. Here we go. I'm trying to remember, we might have played this one last time too, which is fine because I really like it. It's very pretty. This is a good one too. I'm just looking at the song to see what's coming up for us. This is in 3/4 time. So we're going to do what's kind of like a waltz time, strum or pick. You can do the strum without the pick option would go just like this. On the C, I'm on the C, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. So it's going 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And the picking on this one is a pick with the strum. You're going to pick that first down. I'm picking on the G. You can even pick on the G and then on the C for the next one. You can experiment with what you like for the picking. All right, so look at the chords up above. They're pretty standard. There's an E minor in here. And at the very last line of the song, I want to point out we're going to do a nice little ending. You're going to do the C regular, and then the G is a single strum. And then on C, you're going to pick G, C, E while you're holding, and then you're going to play. So you already have that C ready, but you're not actually going to play that C note on the A string until you do the single strum on the very last chord. So it seems kind of funny to be already holding the C, but you're just getting ready for it coming up. Because then you hear that high note at the very end, which is nice. All right, let's do this one. How about 1, 2, 3, and here we go. And come away with me in the night. Come away with me and I will write you a song. Come away with me on a bus. Come you on a cloudy day in fields where the yellow grass grows knee-high. So won't you try to come away with me, and we'll kiss on a mountain top. Come away with me and I'll never stop loving you. And I want to wake up with the rain falling on a tin roof while I'm safe there in your arms. So all I ask is for you to come away with me in the night. Come away with me. All right. How'd that feel? Who chose the picking option with the little pick? I'm just curious. It's not a test. You didn't. That's great. I'm glad some people did it. That's awesome. All right, let me check my. Yes, it is a really nice song.
We've played that one before because I didn't know the song. I enjoyed
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah.
Yep. Good. A nice. Nora Jones, I think, has the most famous version of that song. She's the one who made it really popular. All right, so let's do Hallelujah next. I think that's a great suggestion. I'm going to share it up on the screen. For those of you who are fans of Cynthia's pinky trick, this is the song that got the pinky trick noticed. If you don't know what the pinky trick is, basically it's a great way to transition from G to E minor, which you often have to do in songs that have both those chords. They often go right from G into E minor. So if you don't know this trick, if you're playing here, I'll take it off share for a second so you can see it bigger. If you're playing on your G and you have an E minor coming right after it, take your pinky finger, which might be a little weak. This might take some practice. We often have weak pinky fingers. And put it down with your G chord. You don't have to change your G at all, on the 4th fret of the C string. So now you are playing an E minor chord. You have an extra finger that is your index finger that's holding down the G that's not doing anything because it's superseded by your finger that's further out on the neck. But if you're going to go back to the G, it's really helpful just to leave it there. Or if it's just easier to put the pinky down and not move anything else, then that's also really useful. So if you didn't know the pinky trick, that's one of my favorite tips of Cynthia's, and she taught it on this song. So you can go back and forth between G and E minor with your pinky. And again, if your pinky feels too weak, you just practice it and it'll get there eventually, but it can take a little bit of time. So this is a nice one for finger pickers, and it's a nice one because the finger picking pattern is not terribly difficult. Again, Cynthia is numbering the fingers, not the strings. So when she writes 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1 is your thumb on the G string, 2 is your index on the C string, 3 is your middle finger on the E string, and 4 is your ring finger on the A string. So you can think 1 string per finger. That's kind of her method in most songs. And so picking 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, you're going, and I'm going to do this on the G chord, G, C, E, A, E, C, and then you do it again. And this is an easy strumming pattern that goes in that 6th pulse that you want for this song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're going to go back and forth a lot between the G and the E minor. So we'll do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, E minor. Back to G. And then E minor. See, that pinky trick comes in handy. All right, so there are a couple of places in the song, once on each verse, where there's a split measure. She's marked here with a bracket around it. That's C to D on the 3rd kind of section of lines. And for that, you're going to want to split the measure by doing G, C, E, G, C, E. That's her suggestion. If you play 3 other strings, you'll be okay as long as you're holding the chord. But for that line, it'll go like this. Well, it goes like this. This is 4, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. So that one moves a little faster. But otherwise, the song moves at a nice pace, again, for people who are just learning that finger picking pattern. There is a B chord in this, which is not ideal for a lot of beginners, but it's a great shape to learn because it moves up and down the fretboard. You can make lots of other chords with that shape. And this is a song that even if you transpose it into different keys, balancing the ease of play with the ease of singing is kind of hard without getting at least one tricky chord in there. So I think Cynthia's done a good job of putting it in this key. It's a little easier to sing than some keys, but not too difficult to play. If you're not at all interested in picking, of course you can strum this, and again on the G to E minor, you'd probably want to just be thinking that 6th pulse with a little bit heavier on 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. And I'll switch between the two. G, E, G. And I'm nodding my head like I'm doing rock strum because it makes it a little easier to put the stress on 1 and 3. So of course you can play it like that if you don't want to pick, or if you want to go back and forth between picking and strumming or something like that. Oh good, I see Britta is also shouting out the pinky trick as one of her favorites. All right, so let's do this song. And let's see, anything else coming up at the end? It's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to scroll up a little bit here. I'll leave that B shape at the top, but I've taken the name of it away, so hopefully you can remember that's the B. Here we go. We won't take this too fast. We'll do maybe a little under tempo just for people who are beginner pickers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the 4th, the 5th, the minor 4th, and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Back up to verse 2 here. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew ya. She tied you to her kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I'll strum this verse for people who are strumming. But baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked the floor. You know I used to live alone before I knew ya. The trick is not speeding up. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. Love is not a victory march, it's a chord and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who has seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Final chorus. Hallelujah. 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 I would love to see in the chat who does your favorite version of that song, because right, it's one of the most covered songs. It's so many different versions. I will say I'm very partial not only to the original but also to Katie Lang's cover, which I think is a beautiful version of it. But feel free, YouTube folks, I will watch your comments as well. All right, do I see any more requests yet? Let's see, what did I have in mind? Well, I thought another nice one to do, well, and again, put your requests in, you're welcome to. We'll do a few more after this still. We still have a half an hour. I thought another nice one to do might be What's Up, because Cynthia taught that, a few months ago, and it's a nice one for both beginners and also if there are more advanced players playing along with us today. You can do a lot of things to kind of jazz it up for yourself if you want to. Yes, Leonard Cohen for sure, absolutely. He's the master. All right, let's go down to What's Up in the chord packet. It's one of the last ones. There it is. So you see up here, I love when the chord sheets look like this from Cynthia, because there's so many different options that you can do for the strumming. So let's just sort of talk through them, and then I promise I will play a beginner one, but you can branch out and try whatever ones you would like. So let's look here. First, there's the basic rock strum, right? So she's taught that in a lot of songs. And again, the head banging is going to help you if you need to do a little bit of head banging. I usually do. There's a basic rock strum. Down, 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 up. I'm on the G. Down, down, up, down, 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 up. That's going to be your probably, other than just simple down strums, that's going to be your simplest strong if you're a beginner. But if you need to do island or something, you can. You can do island on this song and make it work. So that's rock strum. Then there's extended rock strum, which starts the same but has a little flourish for the second half of it, which goes like this. And we'll play it through a couple times on the G. Down, 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 up, up, down, down, up, down, up. Down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. So you can combine that with the basic rock strum if you want. You can use basic rock strum sometimes and use your extended rock strum sometimes if that's something that interests you. Then there's the back beat strum, which would also be a good beginner option, I think, because you just have to go on the off beat, which means you're going to be nodding your head or strumming a little harder, putting a little extra oomph into the 2 and the 4. So it'll go like this: down, 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 down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's your backbeat strum. Now, if you want to get fancy, you can add a scratch to that by muting across the strings on the first beats. And I'll show you how I'm doing that if you want to practice that at home. Cynthia shows this too, of course, but I am playing the G with 3 of my fingers, so I have 1 finger left to mute across the strings, and I'm just laying it across like a bar loosely so that when I stroke the strings with my fingernail, then I get a scratch or a scrape as opposed to if I press too hard, I'll get a sound. So it also helps to loosen your G a little bit when you're doing that, because if you press too hard with the G hand, you might get a little bit of noise bleed through too. So you can practice with that. It's another good thing to practice on this song. If you want to do that, again, I'll do that a little bit more on the G. So it'll go scrape, down, scrape, down, scrape, down, scrape. All right. And then there's a cool strum that's probably for more advanced people, but give it a whirl if you want, is the halftime reggae strum. And I love this one. It goes like this. Down, down, up, chuck, up, down, up. It's kind of a little bit like a lazy chucking island strum. Down, down, up, chuck, up, down, up, down, down, up, chuck, up, down, up. And if you're new to the chuck, that can take a while. You can feel like you've got your chuck nice, but one of the tips I like for chucking is to make sure your ukulele is not pointing too much up at your face. Try to get it turned out as much as you can. I find it easier to hit a clean chuck, whether you're hitting with this part of your hand, because you can hit the chuck in a couple places, whatever's most comfortable for you. I kind of hit on the side, but some people hit more towards the thumb. Some people hit more with their palm. However you're hitting the chuck, I find it a little easier if my uke is more straight up and down than tilted. But if that doesn't work for you, then just ignore that tip. So that's another option you can do. And you could do, say, you could do a strum on the verse and then do that halftime reggae on the chorus, whatever kind of works for you. And just to prove to you that you can do this on an island, if you are like, I'm an island person, don't make me deviate from that, you could do kind of a little bit of a slightly swung island. 25 years and my life is still trying to get up there. So you could do it like that too with island strum. It doesn't really go along with the style of the original, which is why Cynthia hasn't included it here, but as she likes to say, there are no rules and there are no ukulele police who are going to come and take you away for playing a different strum. Especially on Zoom, right? Or the people watching on YouTube as well. All right, so what am I going to do? I'm going to do the basic rock strum through this song, and I encourage you to branch out and do something else if you like. Are there any other surprises of this for this song? Looks pretty straightforward. Very easy chords. I'm going to take it about this tempo. 1, 2, 3, and okay, so here we go. 1 and 2 and intro. Oh, sorry. I have to do it twice. Okay. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I see you banging your head, I will know why, so don't feel embarrassed. 25 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination. I realized quickly when I knew I should that the world was made up of this brotherhood of man, or whatever that means. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head, and I am feeling a little peculiar. So I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath, I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, hey, 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 I say, hey, what's going on? Do that again. And I say, hey, 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 I say, hey, what's going on? And I try, oh my God, do I try all the time in this institution, and I pray, oh my God, do I pray every single day for a revolution. Back up to the chorus. chorus. I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed, just to get it all out, what's in my head, and I am feeling a little peculiar. So I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get up high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, hey, 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 hey. I say, hey, what's going on? And I say, hey, 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 hey. I say, hey, what's going on? Drop down to the outro. 25 years of my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination. All right. I'd love to see in the chat, or you can unmute yourself if you're on Zoom, which of those many strumming options you chose. I'm so curious. I see Amanda. Great. Welcome. All right. I see a request for Lava. Great song. Let's do Lava. It's another one that we don't play as much at jams, but we have plenty of time to do it here, so let's do it. Oops, go up in the alphabet here. All right. Here we go. Lava, of course, from the Pixar short. I learned this from Cynthia. I actually learned it from her before I saw the Pixar short, and so when I learned it from Cynthia, I noted the importance of doing the volcano noises, because otherwise you don't get the story of what is happening in this song. So I'm going to do the volcano noises, and I wish my 10-year-old was here to do the volcano noises with me, but he's at camp. So I hope that you will do the volcano noises at home to go along with them. Oh, good. John is saying he did extended rock strum on that last one. Good. I was thinking that's a nice one for the ends of those lines, right? To have that extended rock strum kind of trailing out there. It's a good one to practice. And if you want to learn more, if you want to do more practicing of extended rock strum, the free tutorial on Space Oddity was where I finally got my extended rock strum down with Cynthia. All right, so this is an easy chord, C, F, G7. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll up because this is a 2-pager and we'll have to scroll at the end of this first page. So this is a great island strum song. It's also a great one to use that technique we used in the Norah Jones Come Away With Me, and also we use it sometimes when we play Somewhere Over the Rainbow, the plucking island strum, because you can do that in this song as well. You can pluck on your island strum, and if you're comfortable doing that, that's kind of a nice little sound that you can throw in. And again, you're playing 2 island strums per chord, so if you want to do a bouncing bass line, you could do G on the first one and C on the other. It'll work on high G, I have a low G, but it'll work on high G just as nicely. So that's another option you can do, but I'm going to stick to, maybe I'll throw in a pluck now and then, but I'm going to try to stick to island strum as much as possible for people who feel like that is enough for them. Let's see, anything else? Oh, and there's some marked shorter measures that only get 1 island strum, and those are in the brackets. So this is an older style of song sheet from Cynthia, but I think it's otherwise pretty straightforward. Let me just look here and see if there's anything on the second page that we should know is coming up. Nope, it ends with a nice little held out line with a single strum on the lava at the end, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Let's do it. All right, so 2 island strums most of the time and 1 on those bracketed chords. Let's just play C a little bit to get into the tempo. I think this is a good one. 1, 2, here we go. A long, long time ago, there was a volcano living all alone in the middle of the sea. He sat high above his bay, watching all the couples play, and wishing that he had someone to lava came this song of hope that he sang out loud every day for years and years. I have a dream I hope will come true, that you're here with me and I'm here with you. I wish that the earth, the sea, and the sky up above will send me someone to love. Years of singing all alone turned his lava into stone until he was on the brink of extinction. But little did he know that living in the sea below, another volcano was listening to his song. Every day she heard his tune, her lava grew and grew because she believed his song was meant for her. Now she was so ready to meet him above the sea as he sang his song of hope for the last time. I'm scrolling, here we go. Here's the chorus. I have a dream I hope will come true, that you're here with me and I'm here with you. I wish that the earth, the sea, and the sky up above will send me someone to love. Here she is erupting from the ocean. All right. Verse 3. Rising from the sea below stood a lovely volcano, looking all around, but she could not see him. It's the very sad part. He tried to sing to let her know that she was not there all alone. But with no lava, his song was all gone. I'm slowing down a little bit because of the sorrow. He filled the sea with his tears and watched his dreams disappear as she remembered what his song meant to her. Chorus up at the top of the page. I have a dream I hope will come true, that you're here with me and I'm here with you. I wish that the earth, sea, and the sky up above will send me someone to love. All right, now his lava's coming. He re-rises out of the sea, of course. Verse 4. Oh, they were so happy to finally meet above the sea. All together now their love grew and grew. No longer are they all alone, with aloha as their new home. And when you visit them, this is what they sing. I hope someone out there sings the harmony. I have a dream I hope will come true, that you'll grow old with me and I'll grow old with you. We thank the earth, sea, and the sky. We thank too. I love you. I love you. I love you. All right. I saw a comment out of the corner of my eye saying, I love lava. Oh, and Britta too. I'm glad people are enjoying this one. That's great. All right. Oh, and good, great. So also strum report for the last one. Jane did a mix of strums, and Simon did that halftime reggae strum. That's great. I love the ones you can experiment on easily when Cynthia's given us the formula. All right, any new requests? I'm checking my chats just to see. I had an idea. It's a song that has been mentioned recently in recent lessons because Cynthia's been teaching that kind of 5-beat strum, and she mentioned that she uses this in Free Fallin', and Free Fallin' is in our packet. So I thought maybe we could do Free Fallin'. Free Fallin' is another one that has a bunch of different strums. I will stick to the beginner when I'm playing it with y'all, but if you want to branch out and try other strums, of course, again, you're welcome to. Let's just go through Free Fallin', and I think it'll dovetail nicely with the 2 lessons actually that we had on Linger last month, for those of you who were there for those or have watched those on replay. All right, so here's Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. This is one Cynthia taught way back in 2017. So if you haven't done the lesson on this one, you can find it on Patreon. There's actually links to it that you can follow from your downloadable songbook. And if you're a very basic beginner and you don't want to strike out into a direction that's going to lead you feeling like your fingers are all tangled up, you can just do down strums on these chords, and that's actually how it's written out here, as an F. And of course, I know the B flat may be enough challenge for some people, and that's understandable. But F and B flat go together a lot. They're in each other's keys, and so if you see how the F shape kind of naturally leads a little bit into the B flat, you're going to flatten that F finger out. Here, I'll show it in a slightly larger format. You're going to flatten your F finger out to do the bar, and I just do a half bar, although for people who like the full bar, you're welcome to. And then you add your 3rd finger for the B flat. So that's a good chord transition to practice because there are a lot of songs that are in that key that will use that. But if that's tricky for you and that's all the challenge you want, then stick to the single strums. This song does have that interesting sort of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 sort of rhythm that Cynthia was teaching for Linger. So let's start out with the single strums. You're going to go F, B, B, F, C. That's the rhythm that Tom Petty does. If you're at all familiar with that song, that'll sound familiar. B, F, C. I'll do it one more time. F, 8, 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2. So if you're doing the strum instead of in the single strums, then you'll see there's an intermediate level there, which is the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, which goes like this, and we'll do it slowly. F, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, nodding might help. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, Tom Petty helps us out by making this pretty much that all the way through. So at least it's repetitive, and if you kind of get into the groove of it, I wouldn't even worry so much about counting as feeling the rhythm as you're going through. And if you're really advanced, and I won't play this, we won't teach this, but if you're really advanced and you want to do the intermediate, well, it says add a chuck, even more intermediate version, you're going to do something like this. And I even like to add a little down up at the end of those, so you can add some ups in. Like if you're an intermediate player, play around with this. You could do something like this. Anyway, this is a beginner jam, so I won't go any further with that. But I would suggest that as I play through this, I start out with the single strum version. I'll do that for the first verse. And then I'm going to do just that. She's labeled as intermediate, but it's that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I'll do that for the break in verse 2. And then maybe I'll go back to single strums on verse 3. So if you're playing single strums all the way through, then at least I'm playing part of it with you. And if you want to try that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, I'll be playing part of that with you part of the way through too. Let's see, is this, can we fit this all on one screen? I can if I make it a little smaller. Ooh, that's too small. Let's try something in between those two things. 1 second. Can I make this all fit? There we go. That fits. Okay, sorry if that's a little too small on your device, but that at least means we won't have to scroll. and you can see the strum patterns up there at the top. So we won't take this super fast again. We may take it a little slower than Tom Petty did it, but that way we can work through it. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus and America too. She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis, loves horses and her boyfriend too. Now 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I'm playing it twice so we can get into it. Here's verse 2. It's a long day living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through the yard, and I'm a bad boy 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart, and I'm free. Free falling. Yeah, free. Free falling. If that's too low for you, like it is for me, we're missing it up here. The vampires walking through the valley, move west down Ventura Boulevard, and all the bad boys are standing in the shadows. All the good girls are home with broken hearts, and I'm free. Free falling. Yeah, I'm free. Free falling. I'm gonna go single strums here. I wanna glide down over Mulholland. I wanna write her name in the sky. I'm gonna free fall out into nothing. Gonna leave this world for a while, and I'm free. Free falling. Yeah, I'm free. Free falling. And I'm free. Free falling. Last line of the chorus. Yeah, I'm free. Free falling. And here's the end. All right. I really want to hear how that went for you. How did that go? Feel free to unmute if you want to say something, or you can type it in the chat.
Quite challenging.
Yes. Did you do the linger, either of the linger lessons last month?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
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 Did it feel like, did it feel like the same strum enough for that? Okay.
It's just getting the timing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It is a trickier thing to wrap your head around, I feel like, when you're dealing with the counting and the numbers. But hopefully for people, at least if you were familiar with that song, it helps to kind of have Tom Petty in the back of your head doing the rhythm. That helps me a little bit. All right, I've got a request here for White Sandy Beach. So maybe we'll end with that one. Let's do White Sandy Beach. And before we do that, I want to say, because I know some people might have to dash out right at 1:30, I do have another jam coming up at a similar time slot this month that Cynthia will put in her newsletter when she posts her July newsletter. But basically, I'm doing third Tuesdays jams at 6 p.m. London time. So that's 1 o'clock for me in New York. And I have been doing that for several months, and I'll continue doing it. So there will be a link in the newsletter when it comes out, and there's also a Facebook event. And for people who aren't in UK, Europe time zone, or where this is a little early for you, I've got one also second Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So that's another option as well, that people can come in different songbook. And I'll add a few songs each month if people want to see some other songs. Although I have a few of Cynthia's public charts in my book. All right, I see a comment from John too. I tried all 3 strum patterns. Good for you, but I messed up. More practice needed. Well, that's the way it goes, right? I think that you tried them at all is like half the battle. That's great. All right, let's do White Sandy Beach together. And a big shout out to Simon and Jane for helping me out as co-hosts, letting people in, because that was very helpful, so thank you. All right, White Sandy Beach. You can pick this one. It's a nice song to pick. 1, 2, 3, 4 is just G, C, E, A, and then you start that again. You do 2 of those per chord. I don't think there are any half measures in this. Yeah, so you won't even need to worry about any half measures. If you don't like the barred D7, sometimes people ask if they can play the Hawaiian D7, and of course you can, which is 2-0-2-0. It'll sound a little better, I think, to some people with that high note on top with the D7, but if you're more comfortable playing it the sort of, I think it was shorter, but the way without that top note, then you can also play it that way. That's fine too. And for people who want to strum, you can absolutely strum this one. You're kind of going to do like a little bit of a lazy, I saw you in my dream, we were walking. So you can do it that way as well. All right. And my apologies in advance for, I don't sing this as beautifully as Cynthia does, but it is a beautiful song, so that will help me out. Let's see. A tempo, that would be good. 1 and 2 and 2 and 2 and, okay, let's do it like this. 2, here's the intro. And here we sing. I saw you in my dream. We were walking hand in hand on a white sandy beach of Hawaii. We were playing in the sun. We were having so much fun on a white sandy beach of Hawaii. Sound of the ocean soothes my restless soul. The sound of the ocean rocks me all night long. Those hot, long summer days, lying there in the sun on a white sandy beach of Hawaii. The sound of the ocean soothes my restless soul. The sound of the ocean rocks me all night long. Last night in my dream, I saw your face again. We were there in the sun on a white sandy beach of Hawaii. On a white sandy beach of Hawaii. On a white of Hawaii. Here we go. All right. Oh, thanks for suggesting that one. That was a great request. Thank you again, everybody. I'm going to say goodbye to folks over at YouTube.
Thank you,
Thanks
Jenny.
for joining us. I'm going to go end the YouTube stream.
Great fun.
See you next time. And thank you to everybody on Zoom for joining me here so I wasn't